What's going on, everyone? Welcome to week 11 of the UPBA. This week we are taking on Lieutenant Gold, coach of the Los Angeles Aegislash, a very important game in terms of playoff qualification. You basically have to go 6-6 at minimum to make playoffs in this league. It's a pretty low playoff threshold, so thankfully our terrible run at the very start of this league has not come back to bite us, but we have been able to beat the 3rd, 4th, and 5th seed. We beat Shea, we beat Q, and we beat Foxeter, and that was pretty huge to be able to come back in this league, make a comeback, and have a real shot at playoffs here. So if I win one of my next 2 games, I feel pretty solid about making it. Again, this team is not something I'm comfortable with, so unlike UBL, I'm kind of stretching. I'm less confident in my games in this league pretty much always, but I feel like this team is pretty solid. We'll see. His draft is very strange. He made a bunch of transactions and he got rid of his Hail Core, which was genuinely kind of a relief for me because I don't deal well with things like Arctizolt for some reason. He now has Glastrier, and I think Mudsdale is new, Absol might be new, but generally the main threats on his team have been the same for a little while. Coco, Salamence, Volcanion, this is their second time seeing Volcanion this season. Slightly Salty dropped it, and then LA Aegislash is bringing it back up. Thankfully, I don't think we had to play Volcanion. I don't think he brought it. Maybe he did. I don't remember. But either way, we might play Volcanion. Who knows? But Blissey is another scary thing, as well as miscellaneous stuff like Delmies and Mudsdale, which could be really good Terrakion checks as well. So hopefully this game goes well. I'm really crossing my fingers. It would just be like a security blanket going into this last game against Gravy, who I think is a very, very strong, talented battler. So if I was, 5-6 going into that game, knowing if I lose, I wasn't going to make playoffs, I'd be kind of shitting myself. So I want to win this as an extra security blanket. Maybe finish this season 7-5, which would be something basically unthinkable. I would not have thought that I was going 7-5 if you told me after the El Scissor game that I would be. So if I can make that happen, and I'm feeling like I can, I feel like if I put my best foot forward, I really can, then we'll be good. I did have finals this week, so I didn't really get as much prep on this team as I would have liked to, so hopefully it works. I literally only played 1 mock with it, and I lost, so I mean, who knows. But generally speaking, pretty scary team. Let's get into what it is. Or his draft is very scary. My team is just a team. We'll see if I can beat it. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so Banded Terrakion, because, who doesn't love Banded Terrakion? With just Close Combat Stone Edge, Dual Stab generally hits his team pretty hard, depending on if... I imagine both Mudsdale and Delmies comes, or let me rephrase that. I think Delmies 100% comes, and I think that either Bronzong or Mudsdale come, and he has to do that to prevent me from locking into one of Terrakion's stabs. So it's going to be kind of hard, but if I predict correctly on what comes out, or I just kind of threaten him enough and just kind of put more and more pressure on those mons, I can eventually find a hold of which one of the stabs is easily clickable, kind of like how I did against Foxeter when Gengar went down to the Stone Edge. I was able to spam, so it's basically close combat right afterwards. Megahorn doesn't have coverage for anything in particular. In fact, I don't think there's a single thing on his team outside Raichu and Absol that are bug weak, but the reason I like it here is because it's a neutral move that hits Bronzong, Mudsdale, and Delmies. So if he wants to bring any of those 3 in to beat my Terrakion, Megahorn does at least like 40 to 50% to basically all of them, with like max defense spreads with my sort of banded set. So just having that as a neutral play, as sort of an early game method to whittle those mons down so I can lock into a different move later, is pretty good. Quick Attack's nice for things like Raichu and Coco and stuff like that, and I didn't really have anything else to run, so that is what we are running. The next mon is Thanos. This is hopefully my endgame situation. I'm not entirely sure. But wow, this moveset order is terrible. But essentially the idea is just get up a Nasty Plot and Psyshock, Fire Blast, everything. I am holding the Lumberry, I believe, so that I can... so I could do what? So that I can freaking take a Toxic from Blissey and Nasty Plot and then Psyshock twice and be okay. His Dark type is Absol, so hopefully Psyshock does a lot. Otherwise, things like Fire Blast does everything to the Psyshock the mons that take Psyshock really well. Fire Blast does a pretty decent amount of damage too, so things like Glastrier, things like Bronzong, things like Delmies as well, all very, very important to have Fire Blast to be able to break through those as well. So that is the Muse set, not the whole team. That would be pretty weird if I was bringing two mons. That is the Muse set. Hopefully it ends up working out, but we'll see. Wow, this moveset order is totally fucked up too. We are bringing Wheezing with Toxic Spikes. He doesn't have a grounded poison, so this is giving me my main way to chip things like Blissey and not Bronzong, Delmies, Mudsdale, stuff like that, so that Terrakion can click buttons. That's kind of the idea behind it. Otherwise, Strange Team and Flamethrower has pretty good coverage against his team, with the exception of Volcanion. I mean, it's a good way to like just beat Salamence. Like, I'm max physically defensive, so that DD Salamence virtually does nothing to me. I know if he could run Iron Tail, but I don't know if he will. I don't think he will. I know he could run Zen Headbutt too. That's something else I have to be careful of. But like, Strange Team and a Quick Attack should be fine enough with the Terrakion and Wheezing. So I genuinely think this is probably my best answer to Salamence, but Salamence is a pretty big threat, so we'll see. Flamethrower hits literally everything that Strange Team doesn't, with the exception of Blissey. Blissey doesn't want to take a pain split, so that's the team. Or I keep saying that's the team. That's the Wheezing. I feel like I'm going crazy. I just recorded my UBL team builder right before this, so maybe I'm just losing my marbles. Okay. Next mon. Wow, these movesets are horrible. Come on. All right, there we go. Crazy. Okay, so we got Diggersby here. Diggersby is running Body Slam, Knockoff, U-Turn, Quick Attack, mostly to just do a lot of damage. I'm not running an Earthquake this week because I want to have Knockoff, U-Turn, and Quick Attack, and if I went Earthquake, I wouldn't be able to hit things like the Salamence as hard as I would want to hit it, as well as other things like the Heracross. So we are bringing this. We'll see if we regret not bringing Earthquake, but technically it doesn't really hit anything super effectively that I wouldn't want to hit with a normal type move anyway. We're also the Silk Scarf to power up our Quick Attacks and our Body Slams, so Body Slam will essentially just be as strong as Earthquake, just obviously a different typing. And then Knockoff is really nice for the general normal type switch-ins, things like Bronzong and Delmies again, and Quick Attack again is nice for the Alolan Raichu, which I know he's been liking bringing recently, or basically the whole season. So that is what we have with Diggersby. The next mon is this the last mon? It might be the last mon. There might be one more. Starmie, anyway. It's my main switch into Volcanion. Volcanion only can use Power of Solar Beam to like beat me. I might scout for it depending if he's like Flame Charge or if I see it take rocks damage. But generally speaking, Psyshock, Ice Beam, Flip Turn, Recover is decently solid against it. Glacier actually becomes relatively somewhat of a problem, but I didn't really want to run a move just exclusive of your Glacier. I want to Flip Turn most often, and if Volcanion doesn't come, Flip Turns are totally free. So that's generally the idea. It's just sort of it's kind of, I don't remember what its spread is. I know it's like kind of speedy, kind of special attacky, kind of HPE, and it takes on Volcanion. That's kind of the idea, because the rest of my team can't switch into it, and I'm not having another Volcanion Crisis. I refuse. So we are rocking out with a Starmie that is able to take it on. And Ice Beam is obviously to prevent things like Salamence from setting up, etc., etc. I think it just offensively looks pretty good here, especially with Analytics, so pretty solid mon. Okay, this is the last mon, I think. Maybe I'm crazy. I could still be crazy. But this is a Rotom. It is kind of the second check to Salamence. If it runs like Zen Headbutt, Dual Wing Beat, then I would think that this is probably my best second check. It's also a great switch into Tapu Koko if I'm a little afraid to switch in Diggersby, although Diggersby is a very good switch into Koko as well. And generally I can sub Pain Split on something like the Blissey, which I think is pretty valuable, and generally can sort of wear the Blissey down over time. It's able to switch into things like the Mudsdale, fire off powerful overheats. He really doesn't have great switch-ins to overheat that aren't named Blissey. Other things like Salamence and Volcanion are scared of me going for Volt Switch / don't want to come in that early. So generally I think offensively has pretty good stats. I know that I'm running max speed, and I think I'm running max special attack as well, so hallelujah. But yeah, that is the Rotom, and it just kind of does offensive things, which is nice. Yep, that is the team, these 6. So hopefully the game goes well. We'll see. It's kind of just a lot of offensive stacking, like go bam, 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 and hope that either Terrakion just breaks him before anything else has to happen, or Mew sort of sets up before, well, anything else has to happen. So that is the team, and I will see you all in the game. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to week 11 of UPBA. In excruciatingly long season, we are up on week 11. We have one more week left for playoffs. We are in the playoffs hunt. I am confident that if we win one of these next 2 games, we'll make it. 6-6 seems sufficient enough to do so, which is, in my opinion, a low threshold, but we'll take it. just asking for him for the rules. But again, this game's going to be pretty hit or miss. Terrakion's either going to do a lot or it's going to do very little depending on what he brings. He has to bring like a very specific combination of mons to beat Terrakion, which involves like Delmies and Mudsdale or Delmies and Bronzong. If Delmies doesn't come, or one of Mudsdale or both of Mudsdale and Bronzong don't come, Terrakion can kind of click a stab. So that's kind of the goal of this game, and if not, it's going to work a little bit more as a cleaner, it's going to work a little bit more as a cleaner, and but I think it's going to be a breaker, and then Mew's going to end up being okay. Who knows, right? This team actually is like not very good. I don't know if I said this in Team Builder. I did like one mock with it and I lost, but I had finals week this week, so I was in a drastic rush. So these things happen. I have no clue. This team has a lot of pivoting too. I got U-turn Diggersby, Volt Switch Rotom, Flip Turn Starmie, so it'll be nice to see. If Volcanion doesn't come too, I should actually mark that down, because if Volcanion doesn't come too, that frees up Starmie. Okay, so we'll see what he ends up bringing. Pretty nervous for this game. I just played my UBL game, and I'm not going to see the result of it, but I was pretty off my game when I played it, so I'm hoping that I'm a little bit more in tune now that I recognize that, like, I need to actually start making plays in order to, like, you know, win games. Kind of crazy, right? So we'll press the A button here, see what he ends up bringing. Pretty nervous to see what comes. We will see. The Delmies comes and the Mudsdale comes, so he does bring the right stuff for the Terrakion. The Blissey does come, which is really exciting. The Volcanion doesn't, neither does the Bronzong, which I like. So Salamence I'm going to have to pay a lot of attention to in terms of keeping Wheezing around, and then could be special, who knows. And then Alolan Raichu, I didn't think had the greatest matchup here. I have a lot of priority that deals with it, but at the same time, he has been bringing it quite a bit, so it doesn't shock me to see it here. The Blissey here is actually kind of unexpected because I have quite a bit that takes on it pretty decently. What do I want to lead here? I'm thinking that Flip Turn's generally pretty free, but I think actually U-turn is even more free. I like the Diggersby lead quite a bit, and I think that if he leads like Mence, I'm gonna have to switch out because I do fear Hydro Pump a little bit, but I think he's gonna lead something like Mudsdale, and getting a mitigate chip off on something like that is gonna be absolutely crucial. I think that's what I want to do here. I just want to make 100% sure. It's kind of late to unselect everything now, so I say we just go for it. Go for the Diggersby and see what happens. So gonna go for the nice Diggersby lead. See what he ends up doing. Relieved not to see the Volcanion to stop my Flip Turn stuff. Kind of scared to see the Blissey. I need to make sure I keep, you know, stuff around for it. But if I chip the Mudsdale or the Delmies, I can click a stab with Terrak, is essentially the idea behind this. Ideally, I eliminate the Mudsdale so I get Stone Edge. He does lead with Tapu Koko, so I am perfectly okay with this. I don't know if I want to lead, or I don't know if I want to click Body Slam, or if I want to click Knockoff to get rid of whatever this thing's item is. I imagine we're going to see a U-turn here, or just a hard switch out. I kind of want to make a huge read and go for the Knockoff, because if I'm Scarf, he does not want to stand against me here, and I think that it would be a bad play for him to do so. And if not, he's just going to go for, yeah, he goes for the hard switch, thinking that I could be Choice Scarf. So he ends up going into Quick Claw, which is the Salamence, actually, so nice to knock off whatever this thing's item is. We're going to see how bulky it is. It takes about... Okay, it is Choice Scarf, so that's interesting to see. Like I said, this thing could be special for all we know. So Choice Scarf is gone. Intimidate didn't go off, actually. So, right? Intimidate didn't go off? It did not. So this is Scarf Moxie. Good to see that come out this early. Do I want to go for something like Body Slam? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just go into Wheezing, get up my T-Spikes. They look so free here. Let's do that. Knowing this thing is Scarf makes me a little bit less scared to, you know, keep this around for Dragon Dance. He does go for the dual Wing Beat. It's not going to do very much because I am a Wheezing. I think I'm going to get my T-Spikes up here. I am Black Sludge, right? Don't even remember bringing Black Sludge ever this season, so kind of cool to get T-Spikes up here. It'll be pretty nice to do so. If he goes hard Delmies, that's fine. It pressures him to spin, which is good for me. As he does switch out, I do think Mudsdale's a tad more likely. Yeah, it is. So he's going to go into Mudsdale here, which is perfectly fine by me. Getting one T-Spike up is really solid, because if he's not Boots Delmies, then it's going to get poisoned if he can't you know, freaking clear it. So I imagine he's going to go for rocks here. Not the biggest deal in the world if he does, but it's going to be a little annoying. I like the prospect of going into Starmie and flip turning. I really do. Because I don't think this thing's going to hard EQ me. I think it's either going to rocks or it's going to heavy slam. He rocks. That's fine. I don't think I have a remover. I might, but I don't think I do. But that's fine because I am boots on Rotom, like I said, and I think I'm going to go for a flip turn here. Do I want to go for an Ice Beam? No, I think I want to go for a flip turn here. So we're going to do that. We'll see if he ends up staying in. He does switch out, so being able to flip turn is pretty massive here. He goes into Karen, which could be the Blissey. He does go into Blissey. So is this boots? It's not boots. So I imagine we'll see leftovers here, and with the analytic, flip turn's going to be doing a lot, which is spectacular. I'm a little bit unsure now if I want to go into... No, I think the play absolutely is to go into... Is it to go into Diggersby, or is it to go into... Because I like the idea of going Diggersby and just firing off a huge hit. Huge hit. So free. Knockoff in general. I like that a little bit more. I'm going to make sure that Mence, I'm aware, is at 50%. I think knock is free here. I'm just going to go for it. He's going to be forced to switch out, I imagine, unless he literally wants to get rid of this, which I don't think he wants to this early. Otherwise, Starmie kind of clicks buttons. Obviously, Starmie's revenged pretty easily, but... Goes in a quick claw, so that's this thing. Do I want to reveal that I'm not choiced here? I don't think I have a reason not to. So I'm going to quick attack here, take the kill with Diggersby. I think that's important. Yep. So I get the kill with Diggersby. Diggersby ends up killing Salamence. I do end up revealing that I'm not Scarf, but it's a big threat out of the way. I think it's absolutely worth it. I'm going to try and track kills. Diggersby kills Mence. There's 2 people in the call watching me play, maybe 3. Oh, Galadite's in there now. If someone could like track kills for me, that'd be really nice. Like, I don't know, if you could like say like Diggersby killed Mence and like write that in the chat somewhere so I can like don't have to like rewatch the video. It'd be crazy. Like if someone could do that for me, they'd be like possibly the greatest person ever. Like just quite possibly. Mence being gone frees up CC a little bit more too. Or Mega Horn even. I'm gonna U-turn here. I don't know what this is gonna go for. Probably Body Press. More damage on this is perfectly fine by me. And if it ends up being Helmet, then I know, you know. Then I know. So we're gonna U-turn. I have no clue what I'm going into. That does a lot of damage. How much does that do? 30? I feel like it should not be doing 30. What the fuck? Are you Spadef? Watch this thing be fucking banded. That should in no universe be doing 30. Looks like max HP. Definitely max HP. It was like a high roll on max HP. Okay, I'm a little terrified to take a banded fucking thing. I want to keep Rotom around, but I don't think... Well, it's nice for Delmies. This has a little bit, less purpose since Mence is down and T-Spikes are up. So, he goes for Roar actually, so won't matter anyway. What comes out here? Starmie comes out. I'm okay with this. I think, generally speaking, Ice Beam makes a decent amount of sense here. Even if he goes Blissey, I could flip turn on it. And I think he's going to try and call me on the Is he? Psyshock's kind of free too. No, because he has the defense boost, so we're Ice Beaming here. If he stays in, Stone Edge starts becoming clickable with Rack, so I think he has to switch here, but I think it's more likely he goes into Coco than something like, Blissey, because I've already revealed Flip Turn once. But damage on Coco's nice. It's going to get in range of things like Quick Attack for both Diggersby and Track. I don't think it's bad at all. And if he stays in, just takes the damage on Earthquake, I really don't care. Starmie does not by any means need any health on it whatsoever. So what does he go into? He goes into Bottom Feeder. Delmies? This is going to take a fat Ice Beam. Fat. Gets poisoned as well, so Starmie's going to, like, fucking destroy this thing. How much does this do? It's analytic boosted, so we'll see. It could be AV as well, so... Oh, you're dead. Is that a crit? Nope. You're fucking dead. Snake Eater, you have been carrying the team. How cool. This is not what I was doing in my UBL game. My UBL game, I made 0 predictions, but I'm glad I'm making predictions now. Let's go. Woo! We're gonna Ice Beam again. If he goes Coco, it's just get poisoned, more Ice Beam damage. If he goes Blissey, there's more damage there. Tapu Loko, that's fine. Are you Boots? Nope. Everything's getting poisoned today, boys. And girls. And everything in between. How much damage does this do? Literally 50%. That looks perfectly 0-0, which I'm fine with. Do I want to... I think Diggersby is safe here, right? Because I need Rotom around to be able to switch into Delmies if need be. And I don't see this Coco doing anything that threatens me. If it goes to anything, I just easily U-turn on it. And if it's Raichu, then I take my damage. Like, he U-turns in a Raichu here, I'm fine. He goes in U-turn, that's fine. I do a lot of fucking damage. This thing could be physical. Just take note of that. If he goes into Raichu here, I think I just Quick Attack. How much does Quick Attack do? Like, it's gotta do like 80, right? Like, I'm not crazy. This thing isn't Boots. You're not Boots. You're poisoned. You're at 88%. Quick Attack does 68 to 80. I think I just take that damage. Like, Diggersby is nice here to pressure, but it's not necessary. This is gonna do a lot. Kind of a min roll, but if he's Life Orb, then we're fine. So we'll see. It's not Life Orb, but he did reveal his Psyshock. So I think the play is just to go into Rack and Quick Attack. If he goes Delmies, I just go into... What's it called? If he goes Mudsdale, I don't know, go Weezing. I'm not really scared. The fact that everything's poison, like, helps me so much. Everything's very chipped now. And Raichu basically gets one hit off now. It's fine. I go into Rotom now and hit Overheat, I guess. He also doesn't know that I'm Choice Banded or not, so like he could make a double here. Spinning would be useless. Everything's already poisoned, so I imagine he will either he could Anchor Shot, so the play is always Rotom. Maybe it's not, because then Coco's now become an issue. But if this thing dies, then it doesn't matter. Right? There's Synthesis. Okay, it doesn't matter. I might have fucked up there by taking that damage on Raichu with Diggersby, but I think I inevitably would have had to sack something anyway, and I'm perfectly okay sacking what I just sacked. I'm gonna overheat here, I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure this isn't terrain extender. 3 to 8. Okay. Just gonna overheat here. If Blissey comes in, I can sub or whatever I want to do. Maybe subbing's bad. Who knows? Actually, this is like not as high health as I thought, or not as low health as I thought it was originally. Do I want to attempt to... He's toxic, so I can totally just sub on this. This is so free. Soft-boiled? Wish. I'm fine with this. Am I? I don't really want Mudsdale to get healed. I think I just overheat again though, right? I think. Part of me wants to hit sub again, because if I do that, then I can get better damage off with, I'm gonna hit sub again. Because, like, I really think that, like, okay, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna seismitoss me? That's fine. Because I didn't want him healing Mudsdale, was the idea behind that. And if I went for overheat that turn, he was just gonna get all that health back. So I think that's an okay play on my part. I had the sub again here, but again, I don't really care. Yeah, I can paint split this turn anyway. So let's sub again here. Maybe this is a throw? No, I don't think it is. Mudsdale's not that low, right? I totally forget what health Mudsdale is at, but it's gotta be high. I'm gonna paint split here. I don't remember him. Okay. So I get to paint split here. I should get up to back to full with this, right? I'm not crazy. Close. And Toxic is racking up, so this is working. This is working. I'm not crazy. It's taking so little, though. Oh, it's 1 T-Spike! I'm so dumb. I'm so stupid. Okay. I'm gonna Volt here. For some reason, I was only doing that because I thought there was Toxic. So, I'm dumb. I'm stupid dumb. Odds are he wishes here, right? Am I crazy? Getting a second T-Spike up is absolutely useless. I think I just go into this and click. Doesn't work. I think I go into this and break with it. Coco and Raichu is going to be up forever, so this is going to be a breaker instead of a cleaner. What do you got for me? Toxic? Seismitoss, that's fine. So I definitely just plot here, right? Am I crazy? Or do I soft boil? Psyshock should pick one off now. I'm Lum if he goes for Toxic, he goes for Wish, that's fine. Huge part of me actually just wants a soft boiled here. No, that'd be stupid. I just go for Psyshock. Every single mon on his team is poison. Look at all the yellow. Okay. So, I don't believe the wish goes through now, which is nice. So, Blissey's gone. How much does Coco do to me? I'm really bulky. I might just leave this in. Yeah, T-Bolt should never be doing that much to me. He's physical. It might. Okay, but it doesn't kill, so that's cool. Which means he's going to be forced to go into Raichu, which means he's going to be forced to take a turn of... what's it called? Of poison. And his terrain is gone, which helps star me out a lot. Okay, and I believe this should actually die to this last round of poison too. So, do I have any reason to keep something different around? Not really. No. The Rising Voltage animation is so cool. I was using Rising Voltage Magneton against Irish Emerald, and I kept replaying like Magneton using it. It was so cool. Skill. Nice. Okay. I believe this game should be locked now. Right, with Starmie, perhaps? Sure, let's go Starmie. See how it goes, right? There's the horse. Actually, it's pretty high health, but this shouldn't matter, because I just, even if I don't kill this, I should be able to Ice Beam here. Just for damage. There's no way I die to an Earthquake, right? If this is Rest, then we might have an issue. But Rest in Electric Terrain wouldn't work, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, Starmie's amazing, so obviously don't die to that, because Starmie's the fucking best. I love this mon so much. I wish I had it sooner. I did not pay attention to how much that did earlier, but I imagine another Ice Beam kills. It's gotta, yeah. Can't go Delmuse because it'll die. I'm gonna try and preserve Diff on this one. I've gone 2 games now where I could have preserved Diff and I didn't, so I'm gonna try just in case the playoff race becomes wildly tight. I also don't want to play El Scissor round 1 of playoffs, so I would like to get as high in the playoffs but not bye section of people as humanly possible. I would rather rematch Galadite and destroy him. I'm only saying this because I know he's watching me, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. This did not really... I think I played pretty straightforward here. I mean, it was really just to get T-Spikes up. He didn't bring boots on the things I actually expected to have boots, so I felt pretty good overall. I'm going to just flip turn here for damage, then go into Rotom and Overheat. Because I need the diff, or just... I want to make sure, for sure. Right, because I go Rotom here, and then... Is Poltergeist killing me? I've already committed. If I miss Overheat, then maybe this was a huge mistake. He's Shadow Claw, he's not even Poltergeist. Okay. Give me some diff here, Rotom. Rotom's been absolutely pathetic this season. It's been nice defensively, but also, like, whenever I bring boots on it, my opponent never brings rocks. This is, like, the first game where I brought boots and my opponent actually brought rocks and it worked, which is cool. But, fucking... I swear to God, like I'm like 2-8 in Rotom's like kill deaths right now. It's not really doing the whole killing thing. It's not being as much of a special breaker as I thought it would be, which is probably why I was losing very much at the start, because like Rotom was my dedicated special breaker, but then I realized it really wasn't. So having Starmie as like an option is super sick. But we'll get a kill here with Overheat, which is sick. So 4-0 win, tied for biggest win we've ever had this season, but I consider this one pretty big because it was for playoffs. 5-5 versus 5-5, pretty big deal. But nice 4-0 win for us. For the first time in UPBA, we are positive 6-5. Feels very good. If you told me that 5 weeks ago, I would not believe you, but it feels pretty good, basically based on the fact that like I've been able to beat all the top threats, even like freaking like the first games I lost were to people who like aren't even playoffs range. So the fact that I'm playing the people who are at like the top of the league now, and I'm like consistently beating them, and Lieutenant Gold has been kicking ass in this league too. Feels pretty good. It makes me feel like I'm back in my jive. It makes me feel like I've finally made this team through all these free agents, this draft, what I want it to be, and I'm feeling pretty good going into playoffs, for example, to be able to use this team to maximum efficiency. So thank you for watching. Yay. I don't know. I hate outroing. I never know how it works, but thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.